Welcome everyone, Mike Bowers coming to you today from my kitchen. In today's video, we're gonna be making some maple bourbon spare ribs on the Recteq Bullseye. Can't wait to show you guys how these turned out. But first, we gotta start the fire.
Lord Jesus is a fire. I said, oh Lord Jesus is a fire.
So I got the idea for this video from watching Wilson's Barbecue on YouTube. If you guys don't watch Wilson's Barbecue, he's a guy out of the UK who makes killer Texas style barbecue. Honestly, his barbecue looks so good, I think he can outdo most of the US-based barbecue YouTubers. The guy is dedicated to his craft. And to learn, he comes to Texas often. He cooks with some of the best pitmasters in Texas. And on his last trip to Texas, he was actually at the Chud shop, from Chud's Barbecue, and he cooked some spare ribs. Now these spare ribs were very savory, pepper heavy. He was going for a brisket bark, and they looked phenomenal. At the end, he glazed them in a maple syrup, and I just happen to have some bourbon maple syrup, so I thought that'd be a good thing to try out. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so we're gonna season these just like a brisket. We're gonna start off with a little bit of salt here. I'm just using Morton's kosher salt. That's good there, we don't get those too salty. Now Wilson's Barbecue did not use garlic. I'm going to. I want that little bit of added flavor. Like I said, I want to set these up just like I would a brisket. And then next up is thick ground pepper, and we're going to go super heavy on this. In fact, I'm going to see if this will work a little bit better, opening up the big end. That looks like a lot, but that's honestly what I'm going for. I'm not going to lie, this may be a little too much, but we're going to just kind of lift this up, let a little bit of that fall off. That'll be perfectly a-okay. All right. So we do have a couple of bald spots here. So I'm gonna go back over with that pepper just a little bit and clean those up. Now this is not gonna be too spicy. At least I hope it's not gonna be too spicy. But that rendered pepper should take away a lot of the heat. And if that doesn't do it, the maple syrup should. All right, let's get these on Recteq. All right. The Recteq is up to the low temperature, which is about 225 on my cooker. We're gonna bunch these ribs up here. Hopefully y'all can see this well. The lighting outside isn't the best. I hope to get that fixed pretty soon. All right, so the plan is to keep those ribs on the bullseye for 3 hours at 225. At that point in time, I'll check to see I have the color that I want. If I do, I'll wrap them up. If not, we'll keep rolling. All right, see you guys in about 3 hours. And just like that, it's been 3 hours. Let's go outside and take a look at those ribs. All right, I've done absolutely nothing to these ribs. No spritzing, nothing. Bark's not quite where I want it to be. It's still a little flaky. I did put a lot of pepper on that. So we're gonna let these continue to cook uncovered. All right, it's 5 o'clock. The ribs have been on for about 4 hours now. I did bump the heat up about 30 minutes ago to help speed this up a little bit. Let's go take a look at them now. Okay, they look pretty much the same as the last time I showed you guys. The ribs are starting to pull back a little bit right here. That bark's a little bit more set, not as easily removable. I'm gonna go ahead and wrap them so we can eat here pretty soon. Okay, back inside with the ribs. Like I said, it's been 4 hours. It's not pliable at all. I should probably bump this up to about 250, about 2 hours into the cook. As you can see and probably hear, some of that bark is falling off, a little dry. This wrap's gonna help out tremendously. We're just doing a simple wrap, nothing inside. We're really just doing this to pull in some of the juices and speed up the cook. All right, let's get this back on the Recteq. All right, had these wrapped up, rotate a little bit on the Recteq. We're gonna check on them in about another hour. These ribs have been on for 5 hours now. Let's go outside and see if they're wrapping, help speed things up. Nice pull away right here. These feel pretty tender. Let's get the thermometer in there and see. Yeah, these are done. Thank goodness. All right, ribs are back inside. I'm gonna be using this Sapjack bourbon maple syrup, found in my local Walmart. Basically, it's just syrup that's been aged in bourbon barrels. Hand it too greasy to get this lid off. There we go. All right, we're gonna put just a little bit on the back here. And flip it over. See, there's some little bald spots there, but not too bad. We're gonna drizzle this very heavily. All right, I'll wrap this up and let it rest for about 20 minutes. See how they look. All right, these ribs are rested. Pretty decent bark on there. Couple of bald spots, but man, I'm cooking at home. I don't care. These look delicious. Okay, before we slice into these ribs, if you would, please go ahead and give this video a big thumbs up. Really do appreciate that. And if you want to see more barbecue content, hit that subscribe button. They're not too bad. Pretty good cook here. Let's flip them over. I have not mastered the art of cutting ribs bone side up. This has got a beautiful bark. In fact, I'm gonna come to the camera and show you guys. Check that out. Very pretty. Very much like a brisket on that bark. It's a good looking rib. All right, most important part though, how does it taste? This is a very savory rib. Not much sweetness from the syrup. So if you still wanted to put a sauce on this, you can, but it's totally not needed. This is pretty damn good. I like this rib a lot. I mean, perfect tenderness here. This is absolutely amazing. Pretty good smoke ring. Not that that really matters, but people are always concerned about a smoke ring. So there you go. Pellet grill uncovered for about 4 hours, definitely gonna do that. But man, this is a tasty rib. All right, I'm gonna plate this up, eat some dinner, and come back to you guys with a final thought. All right, the ribs are all plated up with some potato salad and beans. And of course, it's Memorial Day weekend. Paper plates is what's called for. Man, these ribs, seriously, look at that. The color and bark on these are absolutely beautiful. So this is the first time for a home cook that I brought you guys to the dining room table with me. Man, these ribs can't get over it. I mean, look at that. Absolutely beautiful. Now with my ribs, I love a baked potato salad. I don't know how to make this on my own. So if you have a good recipe, you have it filmed, even better, put it in the comments below. I'd love to try it out. And baked beans, when you're cooking on the smoker, I just like a can of baked beans. I don't want to mess with it myself. But man, these ribs, like I said, they're savory, a little bit of sweetness, not overpowering sweet. It's easily one of the best ribs I've cooked at home. Now, Recteq Bullseye does put some smoke on these ribs. Of course, not as heavy as an Offset or the Weber Smoky Mountain, but enough that you know it's there. It's kind of like an ingredient. This is a solid cook. So that was a wonderful cook. I really love the way that ribs, potato salad, and beans come together. The ribs were perfectly cooked, and for as much pepper I put on there to get that bark, there was no bite whatsoever. I didn't taste the bourbon in the maple syrup, but it was delicious. You know, in the past I've only done barbecue sauce, and I was afraid these might be too sweet. My wife said that they're actually sweeter with my normal recipe with barbecue sauce. So definitely want to try this out. If you haven't seen Wilson's Barbecue, check him out. Go watch his maple bourbon rib cook and tell me what you think. All right, until the next video, the fire is out.